a long
Oh
time.
yeah, because the people had the priority and the animals.
So, so your father came to the United States with his grandfather, with
Oh,
his father, is that right?
oh no, grandfather had the store, and he retired, and he sent for my father. He was 18, and he see grandfather came several times uh, around the what do you call it, around the Horn, about
Mm-hmm.
4 times. But he traveled back and forth, and then Confun came. I mean, not Confun. My father came by himself with another friend when he was 18. In the meantime, when he arrived, grandfather, my father's father went back to China, and my father remained here. And then he met my mother around the time that you know grandfather owned the store.
Oh, let's take a break here.
You told us that your father came over here to the United States when he was about 18 years old because your grandfather wanted to retire.
Yes.
Okay, so when did your grandfather come to the United States?
Well, when they build the when he built the store,
Mm-hmm.
Coateville.
And so he came from China.
That store was built, built foundation and all.
By him?
Well, I mean, he had helpers,
Mm-hmm.
and from what I understand, when see, they didn't believe in. He was paid by gold dust of the miners. There's no money exchange gold dust, so they in return would pay my father for the groceries, the staples, the rice, which he delivered by mule up to the miners, and they would the miners would give the runner the list to bring to my father, the order, and then they would run the groceries up, and it paid by gold dust, because my father, remember at Coateville, he still had that little scale?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So do you know when he came to the United States? Was it like in the mid 1800s, the late 1800s?
Well, he built a store. I think I have the picture of the store that was being built. And do you know, to this day, before Uncle Bing passed away, he made several trips to Coateville. His grandfather didn't believe in the bank, and he would bury his gold in the opium, because we had a old man that smoked opium. The opium cans are about that tall. He said he would put his money in there. His, gold that he turned into money, the gold dust. And he said they buried about 4 cans under the foundation, but there's one can they haven't found yet. So Uncle Bing told us that.
Hmm. So Danny Moyer, the guy that bought the store, could be sitting on
He could get
a significant amount of money.
He could buy and get one of these, what are the detectors?
Yeah, metal detector, right?
They couldn't find the one can.
But your dad unearthed those jars and took them with him when he went to China.
Grandpa.
Oh,
Grandpa did that.
Oh, your grand.
Oh, your
Oh,
grandpa.
your grandfather unearthed them, and when he returned to China,
Yeah.
and when he sent your father over.
But he couldn't find the one can. Well, Bing knew about it. He was the one that told us.
Hmm.
One can missing.
So when your grandfather came, did he come by himself?
I really don't know. Well, I guess so, because in those days you don't bring no wives over here.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Did you know my father was married too? Johnny had 2 daughters, according to history. I have a family thing that Cousin George gave to me.
Now, could you say that again? Who had a...
My father was married before he married my mother. See, in China, they marry you young, the boys, and he had 2 daughters.
So Sun Kao already was married
Uh-huh,
when he was 18
uh-huh.
when he came
He had 2 daughters.
to the United States.
Yeah, Cousin George sent me the in fact, I got it here. I sent one. I have to show you one. Because you can read.
And then your mom was the second wife, and then so the third wife is Gumfun's mother. She's the third wife.
So do you know these daughters
No.
from the first marriage?
He didn't mention it. He didn't mention it at all.
Did he ever talk about his first wife? You never knew that.
Did he ever talk about his memories from China when he was growing up, your father?
Oh, a lot of things.
Like what?
Like Pao Fa and all that stuff, you know. That he's the one that told us about the Pao Fa. And,
What's Pao Fa?
the stuff for your poison ivy.
Oh, which
Yeah.
I found, by the way.
Oh, you did?
Mhm.
Good. Incidentally, when I wrote to Gongfen about getting me some Pao Fa, and then when I called him on the telephone, he said, I looked for it, but I haven't been able to find it, but I'm going to look some more.
Okay. So tell us about some of those things that your father told you about growing up in China.
He told us about the bamboo, when they build hotels, they use the bamboo scaffolds. Do you know, when I went to China, I saw it. I couldn't.
So did I.
I couldn't believe it. My father told me all about that. He said, we use bamboo scaffolds. And he told us about the medicine that we took. Remember, I had that kidney trouble?
Mhm.
And I had a tumor growing around my, bladder.
Mhm.
And he always said, now, if you have any trouble, he said, you go buy a pill. It's a round black pill, and then you cook it with baka, pigeon, and you steam it and you drink it. So every month I had this horrible pressure, I could hardly, I was dancing too, and I couldn't hardly wait to get off the floor, put my feet up in the air. Did you know it took 20 years for that tumor to grow around my ovary? And I was here. And when I took a pill, it didn't work. I said, Dad, I got to go see a doctor. And Dr. Rovan, he said, I want you in the hospital at 4 o'clock this afternoon. So he operated on me. He said, he said, I took a whole glob of stuff. He said, it grew around your bladder. And I never had any trouble since. He said, it took 20 years.
But, so this pill
Uh-huh.
that your father told you about,
You can call it bak, white something. It comes in a round, covered wax. It's black. And then you done baka. You steam it.
So you think that might have caused that?
No,
Or maybe it relieved
relieved
it.
it. Oh, all those years
All
it
these 20
relieved you.
years.
Uh-huh.
And then when it didn't work, I knew something was wrong with me,
Mhm.
definitely. So that 11 o'clock, I remember, took me to see Dr. Rovan,
Mhm.
and he said, I went to the hospital today at 4 o'clock. And we moved, and I never had it. I couldn't, it hurt when I had sex, or I couldn't urinate because it hurt so badly. But when I took the pill, it went away. But when it didn't work, I knew there was something wrong.
and any other stories? Did he tell you any stories about how he met your mother, or no?
Well, it's just what was discovered from the kids.
In Madeira.
Yeah.
So that's pretty much all you know.
Yeah.
Did he tell you any other stories about growing up in China? Mm-mm. Didn't talk about those kinds of things?
Oh, he said his mother was very mean. She was real. Well, Dave knows a lot about Bella.
Mm-hmm.
She said Bella was 83 years old when Dave went to see her.
Oh, in Zhao Butao.
Uh-huh. Remember the earring I gave you? I gave
Mhm.
Becky one, and
Mhm.
she took it off the ear and said, "Here, you take it, give it to your sisters."
So when Uncle Dave went with Uncle Tommy
And Eddie,
and Eddie,
Uncle Big, Aunt Lynn.
so they went to China and went to visit her. She took the earrings off her ears and
Uh-huh.
gave them to Uncle Dave.
Uh-huh. And she said, there's nothing they did was sit around and talk. There's no place to go. And he said, here, he just took them off and said, I want you to give them to your sister.
And so did he give them to your Auntie Minnie or one of the sisters?
It's to me.
I'll give it to you. And
And
you
I
have
get-
those earrings today?
No, I gave one to Noreen.
Oh, you have?
And I made a pendant out of it.
So this is from
My-
Yicheng